What is up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Another episode of Pat's Interference. Happy that you're here with us as we get into our stream. We're actually in week 10 of our NCAA 14 stream, so we're gonna take that up. We're at UAB. We're playing Charlotte. We're also gonna talk about last week of college football. If this is your first time, I'm Patrick Brickman. He's Patrick Norwood.
Howdy.
We've been doing this for going on a decade now. And
Going on a decade.
Dude, we brought it to the internet now.
Our 10 anniversary next year is going to be unbelievable.
We should throw a big party.
We're going to throw a big party.
We should throw a big party.
Big party for all our friends. We had a great week of college football, you and I. Watched A&M Saturday together. Great game.
Yeah.
We went and had a good time with all of our friends. Shout out Matt, Courtney, Nikki, and Forrest, and MC. Obviously the lovely MC, and Jay was there too, but whatever. And then last night, we had the pleasure of going to App State Coastal.
Boone,
in
baby.
Boone. And that is, you and I said it, I'll double down on it, best environment in North Carolina for college football.
I haven't been to all of them, but it's the best one I've been to.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
ECU's still on the list.
Yeah.
Need to get out there. And I actually haven't ever been to a game at Wake. But I'm going to go ahead and I feel pretty confident in saying that App may be a little bit more intense than
I've
Wake.
only been to Duke and App, so I can only compare those two.
Yeah.
App does beat Duke out of the water. At least what I went to. You were at the Duke Notre Dame game. You said that
Yeah,
was pretty good. But
yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. They did. It's just I want to see more of it. Like I want more seats there.
Yeah.
But the game was great. Coastal won, much to our chagrin last night. We were really pulling for App.
We were really pulling for our Mountaineers.
That's
man.
okay. That's all right.
It was a good game. It was really. We had. That's the closest I've ever sat to a field. We had second row seats, and I'd never been row 2 or 1, so I've never been closer.
You also
than
worked on the sidelines for like a long time though.
I've been on the side, but that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
That was not as a fan. College football's sort of starting to flesh itself out a little bit. I think we're getting pretty confidently say how we feel about most big teams in the country.
Yep.
Have an opinion on most teams by now, which is when we start to sound a little bit more like experts, even though we still aren't.
I mean, we've had a lot of the thing about our podcast that I think is really cool is we've had a lot of really gutsy, bold calls.
Yeah.
That have panned out. You called Clemson going to the national title our first year doing the pod.
I did.
And I laughed in your face, and they went. We've also had a ton of huge misses. I don't think Drew Allar is winning the Heisman this year.
He's probably not winning the Heisman.
I don't think Quinn Ewers is winning the Heisman this year.
He did not help his cause on Saturday.
No, he did not.
Actually, he didn't play horrible, but he didn't help his cause by losing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it here. You want to flip over?
Yeah,
and,
I'll
and
flip
start
over.
playing?
I'm going to start playing.
I'm gonna talk about Texas Oklahoma. That was the first game that we watched last week. Oklahoma won 34-30 in what was probably the best game of the year so far.
That or Bama, Texas.
I mean, it's got to be one
I
of
would
those
say
two.
best game was what we saw Saturday.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel was lights out for Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers, though, threw 3 interceptions, which is awful. But the stat that I thought was super interesting.
Did he really have 3?
He had 3 picks.
I didn't realize that. So maybe he didn't help his cause.
The stat that I thought was interesting was after those 3 picks, he set a school record for consecutive completions.
Okay.
Which I was
How many? Do you remember?
19.
He threw 19 straight passes and completed them all
Yes.
after throwing the picks?
Yes. Which is, I mean, that's pretty good. But that's neither here nor there because Oklahoma won. It looks like Brent Venables is starting to get his team.
Oklahoma made as much of a statement as I've seen from a blue blood in the last probably few years because a lot of people counted them out. Oklahoma wasn't very good last year. They lost to the same exact Texas team, 41, 49,
49 nothing last year.
Something like that?
Yep.
So this was as much of a statement win as you'll find in the sport of college football. And that was awesome. Dylan Gabriel with balls of steel there at the end, looking down the barrel of the gun and completing the game winner. It was we've had 2 of the best college football games that I've enjoyed watching in quite a while the last 2 weeks.
Love that drop pass from our guy there.
Yeah.
If you're on the pod, thanks for joining. We're still playing NCAA 14. You should really get on the Twitch stream when you can. Quinn Ewers, 31 for 37 for 346 yards. He only threw 2 picks. I'm sorry, he threw 2 picks.
He threw 2 picks. Still, the loss in that rivalry game is never going to help a guy that wants to win the Heisman. You need to win games like that and try to win the Heisman at a school like Texas. But it's not over.
I'll ask you. It's okay. It happens to the best of it. It's all right. Shake back. Shake back.
I froze.
So I'll ask you this question.
Yeah.
Is Texas done? Are their playoff hopes dashed?
Their playoff hopes probably are hurt a lot more than Alabama just because they no longer control their destiny in the Big 12. They'll need to be rooting for
Kansas
Oklahoma to lose.
And
some teams will lose. I wouldn't say
no.
done.
Kansas needs to beat Oklahoma is what I'm saying.
Oh, is that what needs to happen?
Yeah, and because
No.
I actually don't know.
Texas plays Kansas.
I
this
think
weekend.
that Oklahoma is. I think Texas might have BYU. That's coming up anyway. But anyway,
Yeah, sure.
I think
I'm looking at our screen to see if it's literally on our screen right now.
I think that Oklahoma is a lot better of a team than we realized going into the season. Obviously.
Oh, big time.
I also think if they get through Kansas, I don't know who beats them because it's definitely not Oklahoma State. So that's going to be really interesting to see sort of what the committee does with Oklahoma. Now, granted, it is Oklahoma, and usually when you expect them to do one thing, they do another, right? Are they like a Big 12 LSU?
That's not a bad comparison. If you want to say that Alabama has been the Texas of that conference, and then, I don't know, they're close, but...
Or do we have that backwards maybe?
Maybe we have that backwards. But I don't know. Those are two comparable programs. You can, at this point, I'm not going to say that they're, but if chalk holds, yeah, go ahead and pencil Oklahoma into a playoff.
Yeah.
Just because of the brand and how well they played and how they, won that game. And Dylan Gabriel is going to start getting Heisman buzz as the season continues to go on, especially if his numbers now boost.
Right. What he needs now is the stats, right? If you're an Oklahoma guy and you really want Dylan Gabriel to get the Heisman, his stats need to be there. Also, what a comeback story Dylan Gabriel is. I mean, dude's insane.
I forgot about the injury until they started talking about it again during the game.
Yeah,
that's a part of his career that I'd actually forgotten about, which is a testament to how well he's played.
Yeah, right. And I think that's something that should be said more often. That is an injury that
and I also
you don't come
Mackenzie
back
Milton,
from.
So I think I always get them confused.
Yeah,
too.
right.
Two former UCF guys that had the same
Right.
deal happen, but no, I'm a big Gabriel fan. I'm excited to see him.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm sorry.
I'm excited to see how he responds and how Oklahoma responds, because now that they're back in that national conversation, it's not often that Oklahoma completely falls out the way they did last year.
Right.
And so now that they're back in, I'm ready to see how Venables handles this team now.
I got stuffed. Didn't follow my blockers
Not
very
our best
well.
start, but we'll get there.
That's all right. We're fine. You had Ohio State surviving do we call it a scare against Maryland? Maryland played great in the first half, played them close, but then Ohio State pulled away and won by 20.
Yeah, it was, I will call it angst. I wouldn't call it a scare, because they started to pull away about when I thought they would. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to see them play down. Talia played a pretty good game. He had some pretty bad mistakes and picks that kind of let Oklahoma, or Ohio State, get a lot of momentum. But no, I mean, I'm ready to start seeing Ohio State start games quicker.
Yes, same.
If I want to think about them as a...
How many times have we seen this from Ohio State? Like, I feel like every season they hit like this point, and it's like, okay, they start games just super slow, and then all of a sudden you look, that was...
Why did he throw that ball there? That was perfect. He was wide open, man. The sliders.
It's not going good. It's not going good for us, guys. It's 3-0. We're gonna be fine though.
We're gonna
be fine.
We're gonna win this.
You had Talia start hot. Talia did not end his day hot.
No.
Talia ended up 21 for 41 for 196 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Not great. On the flip side, you had Kyle McCord, 19 for 29, 320, 2 touchdowns. He's really starting to put it together.
Okay, that was his best. I didn't know he hit 300 yards.
So do you think that is what we're going to see from now on? But I mean, again, they have to start games better, because like they're not beating Michigan right now. I don't think you and either of us think they're beating Michigan if they play the way they're playing right now.
No, but I expect them to be ready by the time they get there, and they'll be relatively untested the entire way through because of their
lot of season left.
Goes.
Yeah.
And it's just if Kyle McCord is gonna be the starter there with the receivers they have, he will start to get a lot better. He will start to get those numbers and those yards up, because their receiver room is absurd. It might be the best we've seen in the last several years. I mean, it's that good.
Right.
Another game I want to talk about. This one was very close for comfort. Couple pick sixes at the end made the difference, but LSU really struggling with Missouri, who has been underappreciated this year. The way they've been playing.
Exactly.
So I wasn't surprised to see them keep it close. I was surprised how long Missouri threatened to win this game.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. I think it's Jaden Daniels is the best part of LSU.
Yeah, their offense is humming.
He is the real deal. Everything about LSU, even their run game, is not. It leaves a lot to be desired. And I just don't know how and when and where you fix that if you're LSU.
Yeah, they
because
come and go with Daniels,
if it weren't this past week, I don't know when they have an opportunity to fix it. They still have to play Alabama, they still have to play Tennessee, and they still have to play Texas A&M.
They got a pretty big game Yeah, they got Auburn this weekend.
And they've got Auburn at home this weekend. So that's another game where you kind of have an opportunity to set the tone again. But if they don't do it then, buddy, I don't know if it's going to happen.
So I have a question for you, and it's not really about them as a team, but I've seen a lot of Heisman hype the last 2 days for Jaden Daniels.
No.
Because of the numbers. But I think when you play at and I'm just going to give my opinion on this. I think when you play at a school that comes in with a top 5 ranking,
Yes.
it's not a numbers award anymore for
No.
you. You need to win your game.
You have to win games.
RG3 can win the Heisman with 3
Lamar
losses.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson can win the Heisman with a few losses because they didn't come into situations where they were national title aspirations. But when
Right.
you come into a season with national title aspirations, if you want to win the Heisman, you need to be there at the end of the year.
Yes.
You need to be at least threatening for the playoff, which LSU still can do with the win over Alabama if they win out. They don't control their own destiny, but things can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, LSU's won a natty with 2 losses before, back in 2007. That was before a playoff. So
Sure.
They can do it. I don't buy the Jaden Daniels Heisman hype right now. I think it's pretty much Caleb Williams.
Yep.
A couple dudes, Penix or Nix, could put themselves in the conversation with their game that we'll get into later. But right now, I mean, if the season ended now, it's a Caleb Williams blowout. So
Yes, I agree with that.
Missouri, so Missouri still got some big games. Most notably is Georgia and Tennessee.
Right.
Do you see them giving either of those 2 teams fits? Because I would say yes.
I think they can. They have to eliminate their mistakes. Their mistakes killed them the other night. That was an impressive run by our quarterback, by the way. Their mistakes killed them the other day against LSU. They've got to start minimizing those. I think they can give teams headaches. I really do. Missouri's got the best wide receiver in college football. We said that on the podcast last week. He had a monster game this past week. You should look at his stat line. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But they have to eliminate those mistakes. And honestly, there's some programs, man, Missouri has to stop being Missouri.
Well, it's not often that I say I'm excited to see what Missouri does the second half of a football season.
Right.
But they've got Arkansas, they've got Kentucky, they've got South Carolina. I mean, that's a lot of games that I would not have even put them in a chance in the realm of winning. That now, I mean, I don't think they're going to go beat Georgia. I don't think they're going to go beat Tennessee.
No.
But I think, especially when it comes to Tennessee, I think they can. And that's what's intriguing. I like to find these teams mid-season that can play spoiler, and that is Missouri is one of those teams that I look at. They're not going to make the playoff.
No.
They're not going to win out, but they can be a big story like South Carolina was last year.
Yes.
Where they play spoiler for somebody.
Exactly.
Nice drive.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I could see them having a Spencer Rattler type game against somebody, right? That's not out of the realm of possibility at all. Let's move on a little bit. Let's go on to. Oh, gosh. Last week was a real... Okay, NC State started a new quarterback, 48-41 win over Marshall. I'm not buying NC State at all right now. I think their defense is very good. Their offense is just absolutely atrocious.
I don't have anything good to say about NC State right now, to be honest.
Their defense is, numbers-wise, very good.
I don't like... I guess I'm so... they did start a new quarterback, but I was so insanely underwhelmed with the Devin Lear experiment that I just kind of fell off on them early.
Yeah. Yeah. You had Virginia Tech pretty much got blown out by Florida State. Florida State's just kind of cruising at this point until they get to their bigger games down the road.
Yeah, they had that scare against Clemson, but they were a little bit sleepwalking against Virginia Tech. They were destroying them and then let them right back in it a little bit.
We need to...
I'm horrible. I'm horrible at this game.
It's all right. I got you. Let me carry you.
Oh, man. Hey, we're going to have to...
It's all right. We're going to step it up. We need to give credit where credit's due because we've been talking about this guy a lot and kind of dogging him. Drake May, 33 for 47, 442 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also had 14 carries for 55 yards and a touchdown. He was awesome.
He's ratcheting it up a little bit.
He was awesome. I still don't think he has any shot at the Heisman, but I think that's honestly more the competition he's going to play against. A lot of the teams that he needed to sort of be great to have a Heisman-type moment against them are not good at all. So
I won't say no shot. They're finishing if they finish undefeated, right? He keeps winning his games.
Yeah, it
he
depends
starts
on
to put up bigger stats like he did last week.
Who are you voting on right now? Are you giving it to Dylan Gabriel or are you giving it to Drake May?
Well, Gabriel's got the big moment, but Drake May's going to play some big games, and if a UNC team is in a playoff or something like that.
What big games against Duke?
If UNC goes and wins every game that they have left on their schedule, you can't not talk about a Drake May being in a Heisman conversation. just for
that's
the
true.
fact that he went undefeated, and that's not something you do at UNC.
I guess that's true.
But I guess we also, neither of us expect UNC to completely win out, although I guess they could. There it is.
Oh, come on.
It's the arm strength.
Oh, my gosh, dude.
Um,
I saw him way too late, too.
Clemson struggled with Wake Forest. Neither of us watched this game because I was watching football with you all day, so we don't have a ton to say about it. But
It's an alarming stat line.
Clemson 4-2, 17-12 win over Wake Forest. What's your pulse? Or is there one? Do we care? Do we keep bringing up Clemson on the podcast or not?
I think we have to because it is a downfall.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is so hugely horrible for the program that we have to keep bringing them up. I just every week I'm like trying to defend Clemson. Why? I have no idea.
Thank you for carrying our offense.
I got you. But it's frustrating to watch them play and sit there and be like, you had the recruiting classes. Cade Klubnik is a good quarterback. Dabo is a proven coach. What is the issue?
Speaking of teams that UNC will have to get past, I think they play them late in the year. I think it's second to last.
But again,
game
I
of the regular
don't
season.
consider that a bigger game than Oklahoma over Texas.
No.
Hey, you score here, we're within a score.
There won't be a bigger game on Drake May's schedule than what Oklahoma Texas was because UNC doesn't play games.
Chat, what do we think? Does Drake May have a shot at the Heisman this year? I think I shouldn't say he has no shot.
Yeah, that's what sort of I was arguing when you say no shot. I'm like, undefeated, he'd have a. If everybody else loses like Caleb
Sure.
Williams last year,
Yeah,
but,
sure.
I mean, it's slim. It's not as high as it was coming into the year when people were telling us, "Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it was before half."
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you can call a timeout.
I've only got one.
Oh, this is going. Sorry if you're on the pod, but we're sort of in an intense moment here. Out of bounds.
There.
Yep. All right. Iowa beat Purdue 20-14, and the only thing I want to mention in this game is they threw 6 complete passes.
I love that.
It's the second offensive stat we've read about Iowa that has just actually dropped my jaw. Oh, you got him. Oh,
I'm tired of these drops. This
come on, go.
Drops.
Hurry up, get to the line,
18.
You got it. There was a game a couple weeks ago where they had 6 first downs in the entire game and won.
Oof.
How do they keep doing this?
Is this a draw? Because if it's a draw, they won't get it. It's a draw. That stinks.
You got it. Ugh, that's tough. That's tough.
I thought it was a
It's all right.
handoff.
Second half is your half.
Man.
Second half is your half. All right, let's keep going through these from last week. You had not a whole lot else. Colorado survives Arizona State, and then celebrated like they won the Super Bowl, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little over it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about Colorado, Arizona State because there's not much to talk about there. Those are 2 unranked teams, other than the fact that Colorado's a story every week they play football. But
Well, I mean, we lose our podcasting license if we don't talk about Colorado.
it's kind of the way that goes.
Also, shout out Arizona State. You put up a good fight, and we're proud of you. Forks up. Gang's all here. Kentucky showed up against Georgia.
No, what Georgia did puts me on alarm. I mean, I'm Georgia's
Puts you on alarm in what way?
Georgia's figuring it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Georgia's very much that is a statement win that not enough people are talking about because it's Kentucky. But just last week, Kentucky was ranked, and people were talking about how good Kentucky was.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
they were going to be a threat to Georgia. Yes, you're not wrong.
And
You're not
Georgia
wrong.
got tired of hearing it and put up 51 on them.
Yes. They hung a 50 burger on them. Granted, that game was between the hedges, which I think, say what you will, I think that's one of the biggest home field advantages in college football.
Sure.
They officially broke Alabama's record for most consecutive weeks as AP number 1, by the way. Not sure if you saw that.
I didn't see that. Impressive stat.
So, yeah, I mean, yes, Georgia is figuring it out. I also think we kind of overrated Kentucky based on how they beat Florida. I don't think Florida's that good, but it also gives me pause because I know Tennessee is actually pretty good, and they waxed Tennessee to start the season. So, college football is a river. It is ever moving, right? But it's hard to tell in the SEC East right now who is actually good besides Georgia.
The reason we didn't even talk about the fact that Georgia won so much was because of the Mark Stoops comments, which everybody has such either a high or a low opinion on it. Basically, if you don't know, Mark Stoops was talking, I think, on a coach call-in show or a presser or something, and he said something like, "We're not making excuses about losing to Georgia, but at the same time," and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but at the same time, you know, if you guys want to help donate to help us buy players like Georgia, you know, they bought a lot of good players. You know, it would be really appreciated. And that's a paraphrase. You'll need to go watch the actual quote to get the full context.
It was very, what made me mad is people just read it.
Yeah.
They don't actually go and look at the way he said it. It was very tongue-in-cheek. It was very obviously a joke. Of course he did. Of course he fumbled. Of course he fumbled. But we got it back. It was very tongue-in-cheek. And honestly, man, whatever.
But what I'm saying, he is absolutely right.
Yes, he is.
If we want to talk about how much NIL has changed college football, when a coach at a lower school wants to say something about it, and you guys want to be like, oh, you can't say that. That's in bad taste. That's a bad look.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
I mean, he's fighting for his life out here.
Also, don't forget, 1 year ago, a little over a year ago, Jimbo Fisher said that Nick Saban's father didn't smack him around enough for saying essentially the exact same thing. But now that's just not, Jimbo didn't come to the defense of Kirby Smart. No, because he doesn't care.
And Nick Saban wasn't asking for anything. He
was stating it was
plainly speaking about I mean, he shouldn't have said it, but he was plainly speaking about the
state
of college football.
The Dwight Schrute birthday party. It's a statement of fact. Oh gosh, you've got. Let's move on. Hold on. I'm gonna pause the game right quick, and you and I don't want you to switch it over, but look into the camera with me. We told you Louisville was gonna beat Notre Dame. We told you that. Anyway, Ole Miss beats Arkansas by 7. It was a very Pete Golding defensive effort. I'm not really sure if it was Arkansas playing well or Ole Miss playing down to the competition after, let's face it, a pretty emotional win last week. It was just all around pretty weird. Why did he stop running? We're going to kick a field goal there. So yeah, all around a weird game. Ole Miss escapes with a win. Let's move on to talking about Alabama. I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk about.
I'd like to talk a little bit about USC, Arizona.
Also Washington State. Washington State we need to talk about. Washington State lost to UCLA because they threw 4 interceptions. We thought Cam Ward was that guy. He's not that guy. There's a false start on the field goal.
Okay. Yeah, Arizona USC was late. I actually did stay up to watch this one. We haven't discussed this one.
No, we haven't
very much.
So give me your thoughts. Give me your. Are you worried about USC after this game?
For sure.
Okay.
That's Arizona. And Arizona played close. I forget who they played, but they played close the week before against. I'm going to get that schedule up.
I got you while you go. I got you.
They played a close game the week before against Washington as well. But no, I mean, if you want to talk about USC as if they're a national title contending team, you don't want to watch them barely escape with the win against Arizona at home like that.
Or Colorado.
I
mean, Colorado was the same thing.
We saw how many times Lincoln Riley failed to get it done at Oklahoma because of his defense. His offense was gangbusters and his defense failed him. And we could be seeing the same exact thing happen at USC.
Yes. Right. Well, and how many times did that happen to Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma? It wasn't just 1 year.
Most years.
It was
honestly,
most years.
Most years is the answer to that.
So I don't understand what it is about him. I don't know if he's just not employing the right people or if he has too much of a say in the defense, which I can't imagine he does.
Yeah.
But it's just it's very jarring. It absolutely is.
I think he just puts all of his eggs into the offensive basket and.
Caleb Williams
better or worse,
is that guy, or else they would have 2 losses this year. That's
the
what
same thing when he had Baker Mayfield, same thing when he had Kyler Murray. I mean, that's the Lincoln Riley way, is convince a quarterback to come carry your team, which is, there's nothing wrong. He will win a national title one day doing this, I think.
Yep.
But convince an all-world quarterback to join your cause and then figure it out defensively as you go on.
Yeah.
I don't like this, whatever's happening here, so we're just going to.
Oh, we're just hucking it.
Yeah, we're going to find
big play.
back.
Big play. Oh. You did have a touchdown for what it's worth.
Did I?
Yeah. It's all right, though. Let's move on to a very normal football game that nothing weird happened in at all, that you and I were watching together. Alabama 26, Texas A&M 20.
Okay.
Let's get the nastiness out of the way, because I hate being this guy, but we have to talk about it. Brick and I famously on this podcast are not the officials are out to get Alabama, nor are we the so-and-so paid the refs type.
No.
Because we hate those people. We can't stand it when people say that. If you go back and watch some of the calls against Alabama, specifically the blindside block call during the field goal block return for a touchdown, it is very hard to watch that unbiased and say that there wasn't something fishy going on, or somebody just, at best, somebody completely made the worst call I've seen this college football season. So I wanted to say that and get it out of the way so we could talk about the game. I thought the officiating on the whole was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, on the other side, I don't think they have as much of a claim, but they're going to anyway because they lost to Alabama. But there's been a lot of the other way around where it's
Sure, there were no...
A&M is upset about, they think that the refs helped Bama out more, which
Yes.
I think is absurd if you watch the fourth quarter
I mean,
of that game.
there's
but-
also 14 penalties against Alabama in that game. I don't know how you make that argument. I will say there are a lot more holding opportunities that weren't called in favor of Alabama, but I don't think that it was super one-sided when you have 14 penalties for a crew. My goodness, he fought to get open on that one, and that was a dot.
Watched him the whole
Great
way.
touchdown. But yeah, no, it was a weird game. Jalen Milroe went from both of us saying, "Oh my gosh, he's terrible," to him being the quarterback that Alabama has needed all season very quickly.
Easily his best game, and that's we don't even need to harp on that. He had, I think we said 21 of 33, 300 something yards.
Yes.
At one point he was averaging like 20 something yards of completion until they started throwing a little bit shorter. Running wise, Alabama didn't get anything going, and normally we would really kind of bitch on this podcast about that, but like that was the game script.
Yes.
That is what A&M stops, and we knew that going in. We said that on the podcast last week. We expected Alabama not to be able to run, which
Yes.
is why we expected Alabama to lose. We both predicted a loss. We were both wrong. We've both never been so happy to be wrong.
First time we've been wrong about that on this pod, by the way. Oh, that was a horrible pass. Still almost caught it.
See what happens. Defense is going to be what Alabama has to lean on and will lean on. If they become a contender in I wouldn't put them in the they are a contender, because they're Alabama, but I wouldn't put them in that top 6-7 title contenders yet. If they want to break in, it's only going to be because of the defense. We can accept what we get from the offense. But the defense is going to be what Alabama needs to lean on.
I'm going for it. This is ballsy, and I know that, and it's dumb, but I'm going for it. I don't trust our defense.
I'm gonna narrate what's happening on the pod. So I've played horrible. He's played great, but he's going on a 4th down on the 30
Oh, I hate this.
against, and we're down a touchdown with 7 minutes left.
I hate
But
this
I think
so much.
B's gonna be open though,
You think?
unless he drops into coverage.
The controller, I hit it, it didn't go. Oh,
Anyway, it was an
that's
incomplete
That's
pass.
tough. That's tough.
We're gonna get this stop.
So yeah, let's see. Do we get a stop?
Yeah, I actually got the ball back.
Huge. You're gonna go score the game time touchdown. We're gonna win the
hoping.
game.
I'm
That's what's
hoping.
gonna happen.
Still gonna try to
Yeah,
run
the run game left a lot to be desired, but again, we knew that was gonna happen. So let me ask you now, and that's the last time those two teams are going to play for a while.
for a while. Yeah, probably.
Looking back on the games that were from Johnny Manziel all the way through Saturday, is that a new rival for Alabama, akin to how Ole Miss used to be viewed a very significant rival to Alabama? Would you say that's sort of the same case there, or not
for sure.
not as much?
I'd say it's a
'Cause
quasi-rival. I would say it's a semi-rival.
I absolutely say
Yeah.
it is. Just especially like we talked about the off-field feud from last year, the Johnny Manziel game, which is iconic and probably in the top 5 biggest moments of their school's history in college football,
Sure.
right? Is just beating Alabama on a random Saturday where Alabama went on to win the national title.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the biggest things. But you talk to an A&M fan. Anyway.
That's as good as it got for him. I mean, it was awesome.
So there's that aspect of it. I am going to miss this game from just a college football fandom standpoint. I am
Yeah.
not going to miss this game from an Alabama fan standpoint.
Yeah.
And I have talked to many an A&M fan who share that sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, anything else you want to say about Saturday?
Malachi. Offense.
Malachi Moore getting
injury to
hurt
him is tough.
Is tough.
I thought it was a high ankle sprain, but apparently it's not.
No, there's a chance he plays Saturday.
So I think Saban was supposed to have updated that today. I didn't look.
I'll give it a peek.
So the thing is, that's good news from what I thought it was going to be. I told you earlier in the week it was a high ankle sprain and hurt your heart, and then I turned out I was wrong. I'm glad. But,
do you think game time decision for Malachi Moore on Saturday?
Oh, so that's good. I mean, he'll be back. I thought he was going to only be back maybe for a playoff push.
Yeah. Do we think that A&M is sort of going to throw in the towel after Saturday? They've got a big game against Tennessee this
They got
weekend.
to play Tennessee this week, and that's a game that doesn't happen a lot,
Right.
Because they're cross division and they're not rivals. And so I don't know how A&M's going to approach this game, because I think if Alabama had lost and had to turn around and play Tennessee because of what happened last year, they would have been a little bit ratcheted up.
Yes.
But it's all on Jimbo. I don't know. Jimbo's had a hard time keeping his team corralled in chaos. So I don't think they're going to win this weekend. I don't think they'll lie over and die like they did last year, but I don't expect them to, win out and end up still a top 10 team or anything.
Do we
Like we know they can be.
Do we think, how many losses does it take for Jimbo's seat to become extremely hot?
I mean, they'd have to lose
out?
most of the rest of their games, at least more than they win. He's such a hard dude to fire, and oh man,
Oof. Sorry.
He cut on that so fast.
He did. I don't know the down and distance because the thing broke, by the way.
It's messed up.
So good luck.
I'm just going to go 5 wide, and hopefully...
This is actually a very intense game of NCAA 14 that we're trying to talk to.
It's long distance.
Talk through.
So.
But yeah, I think Alabama saw a lot of improvement. Dallas Turner played great, but the player of the game for me is Caleb Downs. Sorry if you already talked about him, but Caleb Downs played an amazing game on Saturday and really kept Alabama in it through the majority of the game. All right, what's our plan here, Coach? You gonna?
It's making me go for it.
All right.
Which I hate. I would be punting it here and trying to get the ball back. It is making me go for it. All right. I'm going to call slot corner.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to look at A. I'm going to send him on one of these.
I love that.
Glance at A. Don't like it. Go on B.
Oh!
No way!
He got
you gotta
stuffed.
Get that.
He got stuffed. All right. It's all right. Defense is about to get a stop.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going to be fine.
Annoying.
All right. Before we talk about next week, let's just go through here. Let's see what happened. Oh, my gosh.
What kind of 5-yard penalty against the defense goes 30 yards down the field? Come on now.
All right.
No, we're in trouble.
3rd and 3.
We're in trouble.
41-yard field goal.
You're going to have to score quick.
Yeah, that's not really my forte. Oh, that's tough.
All right, do we want to talk next week?
Yeah, let's talk next week a good bit. There's not a ton on the slate.
But the ones that are there are good.
They're great games.
Yeah.
All right, we're just gonna get out of bounds here. We're just getting out of bounds. Good. Getting back everybody to the line. Get the troops to the line. Let's go. We're running it again.
I cannot believe that animation it gave me.
That's tough.
All right, coming up next week, I'm just gonna read, because we've been doing betting lines instead of just like straight who wins. So let's say Georgia Vanderbilt. You nailed this line yesterday. You asked me what do you think it would. You nailed the line. 31.
31.5 is what I said. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Georgia is going to cover. I think Georgia is, like we talked about earlier, I think Georgia is seriously heating up. I think Georgia's going to cover. I think Vanderbilt should just completely abandon all hope when it comes to football every single season. Oh my gosh. Sorry. But yeah, no, I think Georgia covers. I think Georgia covers pretty easily.
Let's hop right into that A&M Tennessee game.
Okay.
I said that I don't expect, but I don't think you gave your opinion on what you think A&M is going to do against Tennessee. So what do you feel?
No, I mean Tennessee had the week off. Mm-hmm. A&M just came out of the most emotional game they've played in a long, long time, and I don't think that's going to be lost on anybody. I don't think that's a secret to anybody. I think that A&M is going to come out pretty flat. I don't think they'll lay down and die. But I would be very surprised if they make it a contest.
Here it is.
Get down.
The big game of the week is Oregon-Washington.
Sure.
Washington's at home, which makes them a 3-point favorite, but I don't know that many people are even looking at that line. So I'm not even going to ask you the line for this one. I will ask you this one straight up. How do you feel about Washington-Oregon?
I like Oregon in that one simply because I think Washington's defense has left a lot to be desired this year.
Yeah.
So I will take Oregon. If Oregon doesn't win that game, I think it's actually probably because of Bo Nix. Mm-hmm. I think he might just have one of those games where he needs to be.
He's struggled in a lot of big games in his career.
He needs to be great, and he's just not great. If they lose that game, that's what I think happened. But I will take Oregon. I know that game's in Seattle. Game day is going to be there. It's going to be a great environment. I've always wanted to go to a game at Washington. We were on that campus. Jade and I were on that campus like 2 months ago, and it seems like a really cool spot to go see a game. But yeah, I'm going to take Oregon here. I think this is just one of those years where Oregon just shows out.
Yeah.
Right.
I would agree, and it's not. I just think that I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
I just think that Oregon has been really the better football team this year.
Yes, I agree.
I think Oregon's
had-
ranked 8, Washington's ranked 7, but I just have seen bigger, brighter moments. I test. This is only eye test for me.
Sure.
So I could be way off because I haven't dove into the stats. I haven't looked at whose defense is doing what or how much teams beat by this much. Eye test wise, Oregon has really impressed me. I've thought about Oregon being as a sort of a contender since the early weeks of the season.
Right.
And
All right, we're kicking this field goal. We're gonna watch it. Okay.
yes, you are. Shoot, you're gonna put this back on me.
I am, and you're
Well,
gonna go
if
down
I-
the
if
field.
we even get the ball.
You're gonna go down the field and score.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say Oregon in that regard. Let's go. LSU's an 11-point favorite at home against Auburn.
I like Auburn covering that.
Really?
Yes.
Night game.
Yes. I don't think that LSU feels like they have a lot to play for right now, and I think Auburn is
We're
Auburn's
watching all these third days.
in a back against their wall, back against the wall sort of situation. And I don't know if I really buy LSU's run defense.
Oh, he got that.
I got that.
And stood back up.
Oh, okay, got it twice. So yeah, I'm not sure that LSU covers. I think they probably win this game, but 11.5 is a huge spread.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Moment of
Yeah,
truth.
they just ran the clock out. We lost that game. That was me.
It's all right. Hey, it's a tough game, coach. It's all right. So yeah, that's my thoughts on. You seem to think that LSU is going to boat race them.
I think LSU's gonna come out and because this is a riot. They both these teams hate each other. It's not quite Bama LSU,
Yeah.
but Auburn talks a lot of wet going into games. Those games get this. I think our game just froze.
Worst things have happened.
Nope, there
Nope,
it goes.
there it
I was gonna
goes.
say, do we run it back and fraud ourselves on the podcast?
No. We wouldn't do that.
I would have.
I would have simulated it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened after the sim. But yeah, so LSU Auburn's going to be a great game. I think Auburn covers. I think LSU wins. That's what I'll say for that one. Okay, let's move on. Other games next week that we want to talk about. USC and Notre Dame are about to play a really interesting game.
Yeah, there's 3, 4 here that we could.
The weather is about to be awful for this game.
Yeah, I think I saw that they were spraying Notre Dame or USC was spraying water at their special teams to try to simulate the rain.
Yes, which I love that that's just become a thing now in college football. Like Dion did one thing, and now everybody's like, "Can you believe they're doing this at practice?" And it's like, yeah, every
the thing
college
Dion
football.
did, they've been doing for years.
The
pumping
thing
in music.
USC just did.
Yeah.
People have been doing for years.
It's like
So I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna take USC in this one. Again, for the same reason that I didn't take Notre Dame last week. Notre Dame's awesome. Sam Hartman can be awesome. Their running game can be awesome. But that O-line is such a liability. And their defense leaves so many bad plays out on the field that it's tough to justify. Really, this is where our season turns around.
this is where our season
This is
turns
the
around.
game.
I'll need to get our upgrade on.
But yeah, so I do think that USC wins this one. What's the line on that game? Is it 3.5?
I've got on my app. I see Notre Dame -3.
I don't like Notre Dame in that game, and I know that USC has struggled, but Caleb Williams is just that good of a player that they're willing to get in a shootout with Notre Dame.
That's where I'm at. I mean, it's just I got to go Caleb Will. I know that Hartman can be good. I know that Notre Dame's going to score a lot of points, but in this game, in this moment, in South Bend, I know it's a road game. I think Caleb Williams absolutely rises to the occasion.
Yes. I also think that if Notre Dame does win this game, it's because they established the run. They take the game out of Hartman's hands completely. They take the game out of Caleb Williams' hands completely, and they just stick to running the football. I think if they win this game, that's how they do it. I don't predict them to do that.
How do you feel about Miami, North Carolina? Actually, we didn't even talk about what Miami did. I don't know that we need to kick them anymore.
Again, so that's another thing about this podcast is because we do it in the middle of the week. Everybody, if you're listening to this podcast, you're probably a college football fan. If you're not, Miami should have kneeled down the ball. They didn't. There's no reason to keep talking about it and keep harping on it. It was a bad call. Why are you watching all of these? Just sit until we're on the field.
I don't know what I was doing.
Okay, it's 7-0. It's okay. We're gonna get in a shootout with Pitt.
Yes, we are.
It's gonna be fine. But yeah, I think this game's gonna be
I
USC.
put this game at home.
You know that old chestnut, Pittsburgh traveling to UAB.
It's kind of lagging. Too.
Yeah, it
Computer's
is.
slowing us down, but I'm not making excuses.
No, we're not. We're not going to do that.
Just hopefully the podcast doesn't crash.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my thoughts on USC Notre Dame. Oh my gosh, we were talking about Miami. We're talking about Miami.
We were.
I'm so sorry. I was focused on the game. No, I think UNC beats Miami pretty handily. I think they're pretty dejected after last week. I don't expect them to just lay down and die. I don't think that's Cristobal's thing. But man, if you're Mario Cristobal, this really needs to be a game where you show up.
On the other side, like, this is the last thing that they actually kind of have to play for.
Yes.
So that's where I'm like, all right, maybe they've been embarrassed the last 2 weeks and they're going to just really show out for this one.
I would love to see it, but Tyler Van Dyke throwing 3 interceptions. Everybody talks about the kneel down. Nobody talks about how terribly Miami's offense looked last week.
Yeah.
So, and they also gave up 1 million yards to Haynes King. So
Yeah, I will say this. The not kneel, and I'm not making an excuse for Cristobal, but the not kneeling down is one thing, but you also had 30 seconds to not let them go.
Yeah, right.
70 yards.
Right. There were a lot of things that we could harp on.
But they're playing without their heads because they were all of a sudden having to jump in and to try to win this game where they had already won.
This game's in Chapel Hill, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm taking UNC. They're a 3.5-point favorite. I'm taking them to win and cover. And for Andrew Green's sake, I hope I'm wrong. Shout out Andrew Green.
Another 3.5 all triangle matchup that people are going to want us to talk about is NC State Duke.
Yes.
It's a night game at Duke. Duke had a lot of really good night games.
A lot of
man.
night games.
When was the last time Duke has had 3 marquee night games at home?
The good news for Duke is it doesn't look like Riley Leonard's injury is. I don't think he's playing this weekend. But I don't think it's as serious as we thought when he was leaving the field against Notre Dame. I think he's actually probably going to be quite all right. But I've got Duke winning and covering in this one, regardless of who plays quarterback. It's going to be a defensive matchup. Whatever the over-under is, take the over or take the under. Because Mike Elko's got Duke's defense looking top 5 in the country. And you've got NC State's defense, which is putting up great numbers as well.
Yeah.
You've also got a backup quarterback playing for Duke, probably, and NC State switched their quarterback last week. So I'm going to take the under in this game regardless. I'll take Duke to win, Duke to cover.
One of the worst things in this entire video game is
mad.
if you throw it to a guy standing still, he runs 5 yards backwards to catch it. They better take that out in the new game. That's it. I just needed to complain about that.
You're fine. They kind of play like basketball players, right?
Uh-huh.
Come to the ball.
Like what receivers catching the ball, running to instead of catching it and turning? Anyway,
an old college basketball.
I
coach.
already said my piece about NC
say it
State, and
that
I'm going
way.
to make a lot of people mad with it when I said I don't have anything good to say about them. I'm not really trying to be mean, but it's just
Hey, coach, we just rushed for our 2,000th yard this season.
awesome. I'm not throwing here. I can
Dive.
promise you that.
Halfback dive.
Yeah.
This is a first down. It's a non-issue. Excuse me. This is a touchdown.
Yeah.
Non-issue. Watch. You're getting in the end zone on this play. Ready?
All 3 of those dudes are going to blitz, though.
Nope. Got it. You got it. Nailed it. Touchdown.
Oh my gosh!
Touchdown.
I don't know how that was a touchdown.
Great run, coach.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, NC State, there's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
It's gonna be a fun game.
There's not a lot to talk about.
I
I'm
think
not trying to be too mean, but there's just
Had we not been
Leary didn't work. We're kind of not punting, but
Leary's at Kentucky. You're talking about Brennan
not Leary,
Armstrong.
Armstrong. I said that twice today, didn't I?
You did. I almost corrected you earlier, but I was like, people.
Brennan
know.
Armstrong was a failed experiment. Also, Leary kind of was, but he got hurt.
I feel like they wish they probably still had Leary. Oh, that's just.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, guys,
You can't do anything with that.
lead a horse to water and all that.
So now Bama, Arkansas is kind of where we go next. That's how we'll close out our pod, and then we can just kind of chat and if anybody.
Fire up in the chat if you want to.
But
There's no pressure.
Alabama, Arkansas, I hate to use the word trap game, but I will very strongly use the word trap game because every game has that potential at this point. Alabama is not a finished product. They're not even close to a finished product. They're not even a halfway finished product in my mind. And they're farther behind at this point of the season than they normally are in a Nick Saban-led team. So, Arkansas can play teams close, usually plays teams close. Scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you?
2.
Really?
I'm not worried. Which means that it is going to be one of those games where we are sitting there in the fourth quarter texting each other, how did this happen? But I think this is a matchup nightmare for Arkansas. They really need to depend on establishing the run, especially with KJ Jefferson, if they want a shot at winning this game. And everything that I've seen from Alabama's defense tells me that they are ready to beat Arkansas. I mean, Pete Golding beat them last week.
Right. I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball. I'm still worried about the offense. And I'm worried about the team a little bit getting complacent. They won the big game, and now they're thinking that they're back.
Yeah, well, yes. And
I do worry about that.
They're looking.
Forward. He didn't even look for the ball.
It hit him in the face mask.
He didn't look for it.
We're running a hurry up. We're playing against Pitt. You go for it. You go for it here. That is the play.
That's the play.
That's the play. Sorry, I got very angry there.
I mean, I think the running back might be able to pick this up, but
Ooh.
that's one of the best routes in the game, that RB.
Yes, absolutely. Got him. Got it. Give me that.
Oh!
Give me that first down. Great play call, Coach. I'm not worried about this game. I'm just not. I think that I also think Sam Pittman's kind of losing it a little bit. A little bit.
He's losing support. I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter about Sam Pittman and, like, thank you for where you got us.
Yes.
But it's like you've gotten us as far as you're going to get us.
Yes.
So let's start
people are starting to think that Sam Pittman has hit his ceiling at Arkansas.
I would agree, honestly. And I know some people are saying but like
I feel like a lot of this is Dan Enos.
yeah,
Their offensive play calling this year has been absolutely atrocious. I did not realize this was a Wildcat play.
got yards.
Oh my gosh.
Should have been worse.
So yeah, I think a lot of it's more Dan Enos than it is Sam Pittman, but the clock is definitely wearing thin for him. He really could use a big win this season, but I just don't see it Saturday on the road against Alabama, an Alabama team that looks like they're coming into their own. You know, at practice this week, there's been a lot of harping on, okay, we've played great. Oh,
He's got that overthrow.
Nope.
No.
6.
He had a foot in. I love that. What a sick touchdown.
There is a.
We're watching
I think
replay on for the pod. I don't even talking about.
There's been a lot of games this year where it's been, okay, well, the defense was great. Oh, we may need to kick this extra point quickly. Oh my gosh.
I wish Jade was here because Jade is really bad about the foot and bounce, like
stop.
not understanding it.
Don't say that. I miss her so much. Jade, hi, Jade, if you're watching. Jade's in Toronto presenting at a conference this week. We were super proud of her, by the way.
That's awesome.
Shout out, Jade.
I didn't even know that was coming. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I did for us too.
Okay.
Completely forgot.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Shout out, Jade. That was a great pass. I think there's been a lot of games for Alabama this season where the defense has been great or the offense has been great. Right? I genuinely think the Ole Miss game, the offense was great. The defense was awesome.
Yeah.
But the offense was great. I think the A&M game, the defense was great. I think Mississippi State, the defense was great. I think the coaching staff now wants to see, okay, put it together. It's time. This is the week where you guys go out and you win 49-7 and you make everybody scared to play you again.
I don't know if we're gonna. I watch us still get 14 penalties. We still play sloppy football even when we're happy.
Yeah, no, on the road, absolutely. This game is not on the road.
We can very much do it at home.
We
did do it at home.
We haven't done it this season at home.
We did it at Texas. We did playing Texas.
Was that 7 penalties?
7 is too many.
It's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but college football is changing. I don't know if you've seen this stat, but the number of penalties has skyrocketed in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. But
I think the average penalties this year so far is 8.
Basically, what I'm saying is I will be pretty much nervous for every game that's not
UTC?
Austin P. Yeah.
It's UTC this year.
Okay, UTC. I said Austin P is the team I always like default to.
Shout out, go Mox. Yeah, it's like Austin P, the Citadel, Mercer, or UTC. I wanted you to get it around him. I really did. That was a great play call, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so give me your score prediction for Alabama then.
But with that said, I feel like this game will have a little bit of slowness to it. I don't think this is going to be a fast game.
I could see it being a sleepy game.
But I don't think Arkansas is going to have a ton of success. I think we're going to be feeling pretty similar to the way we felt this past week, where we're going to win, but we're going to look at it and go, that still wasn't our best game. So I would say a 27-13 type of win is where I would put Bama here.
Alabama is a 20-point favorite.
So I do not have them covering.
You don't have them covering. I will have them covering this game. I think they'll barely cover. I think it'll be like a 38-17 sort of game, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it is very much going to be one of those sleepy Alabama games, right? It's an 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time. It's against a very physical football team after a very emotional win last week. yes, it's going to be a sleepy start. But the good news is I don't think this is an Arkansas team that has the weapons to really threaten Alabama's defense. We'll see if Malachi Moore is...
Oh, okay.
That was a great juke. Oh, that was a great juke. We'll see if Malachi Moore is healthy.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those games where it's going to be good to get Christian Story or one of those guys, JoJo Earl. Not JoJo Earl. I'm sorry.
Wherever he is now.
I'm sorry. Who am I trying to say? Who had the great pick in A-Day?
Oh, Earl Little.
Earl
You're
Little.
talking
I
DBs,
said
yeah.
Earl. I said
Little.
Earl.
You did.
Yeah, Earl Little. I think this is a game for a guy like him or Christian Story to really sort of make a name for themselves and become one of those guys that's routinely put in the lineup if Malachi Moore can't go. I've got Alabama covering. I think it's going to be a sleepy game. I really want this to be the game where they put all the pieces together.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But we'll just have to wait and see on Saturday.
Yeah.
Would you feel better if this game was played at 7?
Maybe a little bit, but
Okay, so let me. I mentioned.
Alabama does have midseason, not blues, but like we keep saying the word sleepy, and that's the word. That's the only word I can really attach to.
School record for rushing touchdowns in a season for our man Jermaine Brown right
We
there.
just give it to him 38 times a game.
Yeah, he's our Derrick Henry.
It's like 5'8".
He's great. There's nothing wrong with short kings.
You're right. You're right.
I know you did not just say something against short kings after short kings
You just
screen.
compared him to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry's 6'3".
I still have yet to see an issue with what I said. I said what I said and I meant what I said. Uh-oh. Nope.
He's fast.
Better.
He's not.
Better than everybody. Better than everybody. Sorry about it. All right, that's our pod. Pod, if you're listening, that's it. We love you. We would love to talk to you more. Maybe you could get on Twitch. Throw out some questions. Chat with us. Let us know what you think. Best fans in the country. Shout out the two dudes we set with next next to.
Forrest, yeah.
Well, yes, Paxton and Forrest, who are lovely.
Those two guys. Yeah.
I'm talking about the two guys who are sitting to my right. I believe it was Richard and Jack or John or something. I can't really remember your names. I'm sorry. We were trying to get out of town and get back to Durham. They said they were going to listen to the pod. If those two dudes listen to the pod, I'm going to be jacked. Leave us a...
Do you want a Braves update on the pod?
No, I bet they're getting killed.
Well, I guess you kind of saw my reaction. I wouldn't.
It's 4-0.
It's early. You said you didn't want an update.
It's 8-0.
You said you didn't want an update.
How bad is it?
Not as bad as 8-0. Worse than 4-0.
Okay, then that it went exactly how I thought it was going to go. You remember when you walked in the house today and I told you this is not going to be a good game?
Sorry. My team's already been knocked out.
You just interrupted my shout out to our two best friends.
You're right. I just reacted live in the moment.
No, guys, thank you very much for chilling with us last night, being very hospitable, being great ambassadors for App State. We appreciate the listen. Comment. Or leave us a review and let us know you listened. We'll give you a shout out from now on.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
We would I don't know, if we ever do make Pat's Interference merch, we would maybe think about sending you a free one.
We'd send y'all a couple koozies.
Yeah.
Those boys like to get after it. All right, podcast. Thank you very much. Twitch, hang around. Let's see if we can close this out against Pitt.
Playing the game.
Love you, podcast. Bye. All right, here we go. We're gonna run corner. I like running corner strike because it's high risk, high reward for me because I am terrible at reading this play. Like, this is a completion, right? Boom.
Yeah, I guess.
Boom.
It worked.
I usually throw a pick there. Yeah, I told you the Braves weren't going to do well today. And you checked what are you even doing checking?
It came up on my notification.
Bro, I know ball.
Push notification. You do know baseball. I mean, you know all ball. And puck.
Puck, I know less. Oh my gosh.
When we have a fast quarterback.
I'm getting down. I don't want him to fumble.
Yeah. When we do get a fast quarterback on this stream, that's a touchdown. That was the perfect setup.
I think our next group that we go to needs to have a speedy quarterback. We need that.
Yeah. Even if we have to sub in a not as good one and make him the starter, or we'll just
look. Hey, the guy that wins the QB battle wins the QB battle. I don't understand how that's not going for 6.
Because the game has the trajectories are all messed up, man.
Like, he beat him on a go route.
You have to learn what the game allows and not what football allows, and that's what's annoying. But
maybe I don't know ball.
You know ball.
Hey, chat, fire up right now. Do I know ball?
Do we have anybody?
Nobody has chatted with us today, which is honestly kind of fine.
Is there anybody even in the stream?
I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that. This is very comfortable for me. There
it
are
is.
two people. All right. Shout
I'm
out.
just being shy, I guess.
That's all right.
Okay.
I think I'm one of the two.
Yeah, you're one of the two. There's one other person watching. I'd love to know who it is.
Oh,
though.
shoot. It's almost halftime.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Going deep. Yeet. Oh, that was a bad
Of course it
idea.
was dropped.
I'm going to let him kick the field goal here, right?
They won't. Our kicker's bad. They don't let him kick it.
All right.
Remember last game?
Cool.
that was a
First down
hair
time.
short.
First down time. You know what? We're going to call a timeout, actually. I want my quarterback to get a rest before I roll him out of the pocket and make him run for this first down.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, I kind of panic sometimes.
You had him.
Oh.
You had him.
I had
There it
who?
is. No, that was it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
good. I was like, yeah, I had him. He just nearly scored. We're going to go with a little read option. I know it's controversial, but I love running this down inside the... Nope, hate it. Hated the way that was about to look. Yeet! Oh my gosh! He got annihilated, dude. He got crushed on that play. What the hell just happened?
You see our coach that looked exactly like Trent Dilfer?
Exactly like him.
Actually, he didn't look like Dilfer, but he did look a little bit like,
Doug Maroney.
sure. We'll go with that.
6. Sorry, Pitt.
That's a big drive.
Sorry, Pitt.
That's a big drive to put this,
Wow,
put this game
dude.
not out of hand, but
Guys, I know we're doing these early, but it's nice to have Brick go home and CMC.
yeah.
It's nice for me to watch the Braves get snowmanned in a playoff game, you know?
They had some dramatics the other day.
I don't think not in Philly.
This is a team that won 104 games. And I know that
And-
because I know baseball.
Can I complain right quick? And it's going to sound like I'm complaining because my team isn't winning.
Yeah.
I hate when your team... You talked about this with college football and why you don't like the 12-team playoff. If my team has an extended break as a gift, I hate that.
Yes. We could get all into this. Let's just talk about this until people start
Oh,
commenting.
God.
I hate the bye weeks in the college football playoff.
Oh,
the same way
that
the Braves,
move.
The same way. That's a Jalen Hurts move.
Dude, that is a dead leg. That's as close as this game gets to a dead leg without giving you the actual animation.
It's just the little pop.
Are we about to go up 35-7 on Pitt?
I'm not throwing the ball, so we'll see.
Don't be.
I'm not like excessively eating clock, but until I'm on like a third down, I'm not like.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were scared to throw after last game.
No, there's up 3 touchdowns, and I'm not going to throw a pick 6 and let them right back in this. I'm going to be very smart about what
You could throw a bomb and dagger it. And we put in the 2s against Pitt.
If I get like a 2nd and 1, I will for sure call a 4-verts, but
I mean, 2nd and 5's like right there.
I'm running.
Good for you.
I want this dub. They're not ranked though. They were ranked when we simmed it, and then they lost the week before that. So they're coming off a loss, and they were ranked 20 though. That's kind of annoying. I like this backup back we have too. Oh, get out! Yeah. Oh,
we have a couple dogs. We have a couple horses in the stadium.
And the thing is, like on these sliders, like part of it is I turned down our run blocking to like 30. Like that's what the slider thing called for.
Uh-oh. Hey, you know what?
What did it say?
Starting running backs got back spasms. Will return soon. I don't know if I want him in the game. I mean, this is a blowout, buddy.
It might ask us if we want to put him back in. Sometimes it does that.
I don't.
I didn't turn injuries off, by the way.
Really,
So dude of
really
me.
dude of you to turn off
Wait,
injury.
no, like injuries. That means we're gonna have to recruit like good backup quarterbacks too and stuff. See, like we're gonna
Subbing.
Yeah.
There's no point. Son, we can't have you getting hurt. Sorry, guys. I know it's hell on the mic right now, and I just realized my beard was probably dragging through the microphone the entire pod, but
I mean, some people would like that.
ASMR.
Yeah.
What should I have for dinner tonight, chat?
I wonder what MC's whipping up. She's probably starting it right now. What should you have for Din Din?
Like
You said burrito earlier.
I really want a burrito, but I should save money. We're going to Europe in 2 weeks from today.
I mean, you'd be saving money if you got a Taco Bell burrito.
Oh, but then I gotta drive out there. Like, there's not a Taco Bell close to me.
That wasn't.
It's awful. It's awful how far I have to drive for a Taco Bell.
He's gonna make me go for this.
No, man. He's
I
got this.
I held down on the D-pad and made him run backwards to the ball. No, are they kicking it? Hey, look at that!
Dude, this dude's about to boot. Is this a 48-yard field goal?
They haven't let our kicker kick one this far all season.
We're about to get kick sixed. Oh, I think he pushed. Oh!
In all the years of playing this game, I think I've seen exactly one blocked kick, and it was off like a glitch. Like they did not put it in the game that happened. Hey, they went for 2 and got it.
Oh, cool. We're about to do the same thing. We're gonna get 400 yards of offense in this game.
Ooh, I love this call. I covered it really well though.
Oh boy.
Hey, look, nice cutback, though. Could have been a lot worse.
Is the University of... No, dumb question. I know the answer to it. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm really smart. Is this like a revenge game for you, technically?
Maybe, yeah.
Pitt?
I interviewed for a job at Pitt a couple years ago, and they ended up hiring in-house, and
Dude, our boys are getting tackled this game.
then I wouldn't be here.
Did
So-
we give them like bulletin board material or something? Because our boys are getting hit this game.
They are. Scoreboard. That's 16, though. I don't like 16 as much as I liked 21. 21.
That's not going to be open. I don't really know what to call here.
I think we could pick that up on the run.
I don't.
They've got the middle vacated.
Why?
Look at that. You didn't need to run it. Good job leading them downfield, too.
I'm that guy, pal. Samario Rudolph. That's a great name. Look up his stats on the season. See how he's doing this year.
Like
Samario Rudolph.
Like IRL.
That's
Samario
just
Rudolph.
a name, dude. Pitt.
He's a senior. Page error.
Oh, no. I just took like a 17-yard sack. Stayed in bounds, though.
He's got 18 catches for 161 yards and a touchdown
That's pretty good.
on the 2-4 UAB. But UAB is not doing as well as I thought they would this year.
Well, they don't have Quincy Radar.
They don't.
I don't know why I called that play. It never works.
Just keep chewing the clock.
Can we talk about App State running a tight... Uh-oh. Got Forrest. And here late this week, did you talk about App CCU? We did talk about App
did.
State versus Country Club University.
But
Forrest.
now we're at the part where we can talk about whatever we want, so we can kind of get back in there.
We didn't talk about ECU.
We were in the second row, which was awesome because I'd never been that close to the field. We said that.
That was ugly. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We chewed a lot of clock that drive.
I mean, I absolutely shook the entire specialist room
Ball back.
of CCU.
We were okay. So it looked like Coastal Carolina was going to set up for like a long game-winning field goal, and we were letting the kicker have it because we were right by where he was warming up, and then they got to unfortunately only had to kick with basically an extra point. to
I
win.
called their punter Gumby because of his teal trousers and his lanky form and the fact that he shanked a punt like imagine Gumby would. I told their linebacker his hair reminded me of I told him he looked like a great value Billy Ray Cyrus.
These are college kids.
I told their kicker that I was really proud of him for graduating from the Lollipop Guild University to go on to kick for Coastal Carolina. I also, when he was trotting onto the field to kick the game-winning field goal, said, "Now kicking, Napoleon Bonaparte." He did not laugh at either of those. And the long snapper, apparently, Forrest said this, came over and gave us a little bow
Yeah, he did
after the game. Which
we
respect,
deserved, yeah.
respect,
I mean,
yeah.
we
No,
deserved
that's
it.
yeah. I gotta
won.
I do. Kansas is number 5 in this universe.
So after this, I will pull up and kind of up because we haven't looked once at the Heisman. We haven't looked at the rankings.
Dude, you
of
got to
who's
get to
doing
dinner.
what.
We're not
I
doing.
will.
We're not
We'll
doing
do
that.
it. I want to do a little update on where we are in the league in the college football world. Let's see.
Would we go be the head coach at App after the season if it was offered to us?
I don't know if I want to jump straight to head coach yet, but we'd have to consider it.
The
We'd
sooner
have to consider it
the
because
sooner
we
we
didn't-
jump to a head coaching job, the sooner we can get Coach B on payroll. And that's when our views are going to start going through the roof.
Right.
Because, like, come here. Come here. Like, look at this face. Look at this coaching a defense and dialing up
Yeah.
insane blitz packages.
Inside joke between us, but this is the defensive coordinator.
This is our DC, dude.
Yeah.
She's her. And then Skylar's special teams coordinator. We can't give her too much responsibility or else she'll throw up. Punter was soft, kicker didn't flinch. Yes, correct. Also Beasley, the running back, who just turned around and giggled at everything we said and then had the incredible presence of mind to slide down at the 1.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
No, I mean Coastal had some pretty good running back. Like they had like a good variety of it. They had the skinny dude that was like more quick and did a
Yeah.
lot more receiving. They had the stocky little kind of Maurice Jones-Drew build.
They had a wide receiver come over to the sideline and start crying
That was odd
in like the second quarter of the game.
because he
was
caught
mad.
a pass with like a little separation.
No,
but he
no,
didn't
no.
have like
He was mad about the offensive pass interference they called on him.
he was over mad because he got that it was that
It was
Grayson McCall
yes.
pass where he's running forward and he caught it, but he didn't have the breakaway speed to score, so he got tackled like
Yes.
on the 10.
And then the next play, he got the OPI.
Ah.
And then came over to the sideline and lost his marbles.
He was screaming. He was screaming before. He was screaming after he got tackled.
He lost his mind, dude.
Watch this.
It was scary. And it kind of like bummed me out. Like, I don't want to have to empathize with you when I'm rooting against you.
Hey, this is going to end up being a win, by the way.
This is a dub. Great dub, coach. New school record.
We broke Spencer Brown's record. I like Spencer Brown.
That's his little brother, Jermaine Brown.
I can't speak to that. I don't know. Maybe. But there are a lot of people with that last name out there.
Why do we still have the ones in?
I don't usually
I don't
subs
know.
him out, but
Also, why is he back in the game? Thought he had back spasms.
he's better now. The spasms are over.
Oh, no worries then. This is when I'm texting you going, why is Saban still playing Tua? Too soon?
Always. Never. It will never not be too soon.
Tua soon?
Never not be too soon.
Oh, my bad. I have not been running out the clock at all.
It's all good.
You good?
Yeah, when you pull out your Instagram, you hit the button, and then it loads, and you see somebody got engaged. You're like, oh, good for them.
Oh, that's nice.
Because they're cute together.
Do we like these people?
I think. I don't know them super well, so I don't really know for
Okay.
sure. But
Was it stupid for me to run out of bounds there? Yes. Did I do it anyway? Yes. Both our quarterback and our running back have 100
what
yards.
do you mean? That stops the clock for a little bit. We got to put up more points. We said we're getting 500 yards of offense. We're at 427.
That's a good point. I said we're getting 400 yards of offense. Did I say 500?
Oh, I said 500 because we're at 450 now.
Say less, coach.
Yeah, so we need to get in the end zone here.
Yep, don't worry about it. Say less.
We also dropped 50 on these dudes.
50, Borga.
That'll put us right back in the voters' minds, Even though there is no playoff either in this.
Body of work. Okay, dude. Really? Really? There's no playoff in this?
No.
I thought we had playoff in the online dynasty we did. Did we not? Mm-mm. Am I stupid?
It's all BCS.
Oh, but they've got the playoff logo.
Yeah, they got the play, but there is no playoff. And, you can mod it in, but it's hard, and I haven't attempted it, and I don't want it to crash what we have going.
We have a good thing going. We shouldn't crash it. Mm-hmm. Oh, am I running the hurry up with the lead? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Coach told me that he wants 500 yards of offense and a 50 burger, and he's getting it.
Trent Dilfer.
Look.
One of my favorite things on the revamped mod, though, is it gives, I think it is by skin tone. A certain skin tone in the game all have the
tape.
The tape.
Yep.
And it's just one of those quirks that comes with modding and look, we have our down and distance back. It's just one of the we're emulating a PS3,
I really do hope some of these guys got on the crew to make the next game.
This is a touchdown. When they put a linebacker as your R, it's a touchdown. It's good every time. Every single time.
6.
Every single time. It's a great
Coach said he wanted a 50 burger and he wanted 500 yards.
So I got to get some yards here too.
You got a minute 46 seconds and the ball's at I don't know where it is.
I'm going to do it the way I was doing it earlier with running the ball.
Psh. I mean, you get to midfield and we have 500 yards.
Yes. Oh, they got the backups in now too. I wonder if this dude's fast. Doesn't matter.
What if we found out he just had wheels? We were just playing the wrong dude.
Liddy. It's Liddy. We've used him before.
Oof.
Busted right through that double team.
You going to run hurry up here?
I want a new formation. I'll let some time run off. The new formation I wanted was 5 wide. We are no longer running the ball, boys. Oh my gosh! Well, I mean, we can go for it.
Yeah. There's nothing hurt.
All right.
Throw it deep. Bomb it, dude. Let Liddy know. How much smack is Kirk Herbstreit talking about us running up the score right now? He got there.
We got there.
Samario Rudolph. What a name, dude. When we win the national championship this season, I'm getting you a Samario Rudolph jersey for sure.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah,
We're going to be the first 3-loss group of 5 team to ever win a national championship.
Get rid of that Liddy.
Landry Liddy. I don't like it. It makes me feel gross. The kids would say it's an ick. I don't like that phrase at all.
I don't either. I'm like, one of my biggest fears is being MC's ick. Like, anytime I hear of a new one, I always like freak out and ask her if that's
Like, do I do that?
Do I have an ick?
I'll answer for her. No, you don't. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
That is everybody's favorite play. Every coach loves when you do that. That's literally what ended.
You want to throw it across your body in a dime package across the field.
And now I'm not even gonna look off RB. I just love the seam here.
Holt Bennett. Why is? Oh, that's got to be his last name. I was like, why is his first and last name on the?
Put it on the outside shoulder. God. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. I never even looked at the second receiver. But I want to know how many yards we have. Did we hit our number?
I don't know. We probably got like 499.
Ah, no. Oh man. Well, it's still a dub.
Let's see if we can get the ball back. Start calling some timeouts on defense. Oh my gosh, we have the ball back. Give me this.
12 yards.
Give me this. Give me this. This is the worst thing we have done as a coach.
Well, I'm really mad about our loss to Charlotte. So
this is inexcusable.
You got 2 plays here, though. Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's a pig.
No, it's not.
Oh, no. Oh, the quest for 500. Oh, no, man. I thought that was it, dude.
It's probably your last shot here.
I got it. We need 12 yards.
Yeah,
We need 12 yards.
Little button hook for B.
You think? I don't think he's going to be open, but. Yeah,
Wide open.
Junk.
That is actually really funny.
All right.
We deserve that.
All right, I got it. I got it. This is, but so I did that. That was a joke.
Yeah.
I didn't even have the controller. My brother was playing. Shout out, Donkey. Okay, all right. This is it. This is the one. Pap.
One more play.
One more play. Come on.
Crazy.
Come on.
2 straight drops.
He's there.
That one.
Three straight drops.
Turnover on downs.
3 straight drops. All right.
No. I want to look at the Heisman and stuff.
That'll
be
do.
fun. That'll be fun to do while we're
Yes.
streaming. Plus, we have one watcher, and I don't know if Forrest is interested, but he's about to find out who's winning the Heisman right now. Who's leading? I wonder if it's one of our. He's having a good year. I wonder if it's like one of those. He's defaulting into the Heisman and we haven't even checked.
This is when the game's gonna crash. By the way.
That would really be upsetting. Ah, look at that. That's what you want to see.
That used to happen to me a lot right at that screen.
It always happens after that. When it happens, it's always as it's loading to quit back.
Forrest says it's probably an Arkansas running back.
Bama lost.
Wow, Bama lost.
ECU lost to Charlotte as well.
Wait, Bama lost to LSU after not giving up a point in the second half.
This game couldn't do anything on offense. They almost came back.
Game's broke, bro. Game's broke, dude.
All right.
Quincy Radar is level 12, no big deal.
I will be saving real quick. Advance. Oh, let's also see if.
Oh, did you see who we play next week, Forrest?
Let's be tuning in for that one.
Dude, we're gonna lay waste that game. You thought the 50 burger against Pitt was bad?
We're at ECU too. That's crazy.
We're laying an absolute dot on their head.
Oh, look, it's 7.
It's on Fat L.
Yeah, we're gonna make a 7-4. Well, is Mason Garcia their starter?
If Mason Garcia is their quarterback, I think we're going to be just fine. Actually, our defense is terrible.
I bet Mason Garcia is a stud in this game, though. I bet he's really good in this game.
He's no Holt Nailers.
No, he isn't. Holt Nailers was good, too.
I want a Heisman with Holt Nailers.
Sure did. That was before I knew Forrest. You just happened to be at ECU.
That was before Forrest came into our lives.
I've said this, I think this every time I look at ECU's logo. But whoever that guy was when he was alive was an absolute god. A Chad, a stud.
You're saying because of the chin?
He looked like he had a full beard. He was a handsome MFer. I don't know if you're allowed to say MF on
ECU
Twitch
is 0-10.
Forced you to look at your fraud
Whoa,
team.
bro.
What is wrong with your team?
He said the chin kills. Dude, all right.
Look at
We have a lot of
this.
research to do.
All right, first I got to see if Kermit
McDermott.
has committed.
Yep.
Kermit McDermott is not committed. He's one of the very few players that has not committed somewhere. It is a close race.
Boy.
It's too close. This is one of those, like, it could be either or. Like, if one team wins a game, one team loses
Go
a
back
game.
for me. What about Cox?
Oh, he's coming here.
We're in the lead.
Oh, Oregon's making a little late run, though.
Why don't we, can we throw something on him?
I don't think so.
Make sure that we get him?
I don't know that there's anything we can really do.
Yeah.
Other
Okay.
than win whatever game he would have. He's probably already visited, and we might have lost that game, which probably didn't help. Let's see.
We don't lose games, though.
He is visiting week 13. We're not playing anybody. I love it when they.
That makes a ton of
schedules
sense.
a
Dude,
bye
that
week,
actually
yeah.
makes a ton of sense for sure.
All right, let's see who's in the top 25. Then we'll do Heisman. Then
Oh,
we'll end the
Duke number 11, normal. Total normal.
U.S. Oh, a lot undefeated still.
Oh, wow.
Kansas State, Mississippi State. What is it? 2015 all over again?
14. I don't think we're making the playoffs this year.
Kansas undefeated, Michigan This is an interesting little. And then you got some one-lossers in there that could threaten. Texas is the highest too. Duke was 6th. They lost to NC State. Interesting. After I was shitting all over NC State a few minutes ago in IRL.
We don't do that.
Let's see if we're probably not even in the others receiving votes. Doesn't tell us because it's a mod. And let's see who's winning the Heisman so far. Okay, so we are on there. Because
Wow.
we hand him the ball 30 times a game.
Why do you keep saying it like he's not having a shit ton of yards?
He is.
I mean, he's playing out of his mind, and you're not giving the boy credit.
DJ Giddens. This is the only name on here I even know. Will Rogers.
Forrest has requested we get an ECU schedule to see who all they played.
Okay, I can do that. Because I wanted to do this too.
Oh, we do need to see where we are in the conference standings.
Will Rogers. We looks like we'll win the Walter Camp. That's nice. So we'll probably win the Doak. Never heard of this dude, but he's killing it for Auburn.
No,
apparently.
he's great.
Won the Walker. Bolitnikov is going to go to Cornelius Johnson, like we all,
Everybody
like
knew
we all
that.
thought.
Everybody knew that would happen.
All right, all these dudes. This was anticlimactic. I actually don't know anybody's names that it's showing us. So, yeah.
J.C. Latham was on there for a bit, by the way.
He was.
Yeah.
I also saw C.J. Dupree.
Yes.
All right, where am I going? I'm going to ECU. So that. The best
well,
way to
I
get
wanna
there
see
will
where
be
we are in the conference standings,
score
too.
Schedules. Let's pull this up. UAB, ECU. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay, so a 37-14 loss, a 48-7 loss, a 17-14
How are you
loss.
feeling, man?
Oh my gosh. How do they play SMU that close? Forrest, are you okay?
That's actually crazy.
Because y'all are about to get clubbed to death by us.
If we lose to the 0-10 ECU, Forrest would never.
Oh,
let us
dude,
turn.
it would become Forrest interference. he would have naming rights to the podcast.
We did lose to Charlotte. I lost to Charlotte. I played horrible.
All right, let's go to conference standings. Let's see where we're at. Okay.
5-1 in conference.
All right. And we're on pace to make it to the conference championship game.
We are. Which we may. How many games do we have left? So we
2.
got 2 games. Either next week or the week after we'll be in year 2, though. All right. But hey, this was fun. I'm gonna end this stream.
Yeah. Bye, guys. We love you.
Have a good one.
Thanks for watching.